Well, I woke up and puked. I couldn't believe the stuff coming out of this homeworthy girl's house, and she's from Atlanta, showing off her apartment. It looks like a school building. Looks like it's a converted school. I mean, it's so obvious. It's so obvious, it's unbelievable. It's so obvious, it's unbelievable. And I just started puking immediately. Her apartment is like really obvious. And it's like these people know exactly what they're doing. And they just keep going. They just keep going. And it's like Tartaria, you have to honor the princess to keep Tartaria going. And, these are failed Tartarian states. And this Atlantean girl is just going on and on and on. She's like, I invented a game where I bully myself every year. And when she says she bullies herself, she means she bullies me over walls. And that's not honoring the princess, and that's definitely the beginning of the abandoned state of Tartaria. Instead of honoring the princess, it's like Tartaria goes like this. You know what I mean? I'm a judge right now, I guess they're saying. It's bleeding through that I'm a judge. But I can't believe it. It's like you're so fucking stupid and you're so stubborn that you have to play these games out loud with yourself. And then you're literally guided like this is going to lead to an abandoned state. And it's just like you can't believe it or something, or you're so used to bullying yourself every year that you think like you can't change course, or it's just stubbornness and stupidity are married together. And they think like their lives matter for some reason, like after admitting that they're, um, you know, antagonistic, bully, narcissists, you know, exactly like same type of person. Like you're just you just want to overpower people, and it's like crazy, like you just want to make the world miserable for other people, and you're just like so certain that what I'm saying when I say lives matter, it's like you're so certain that your little tiny life in Atlanta matters, like your little tiny like society, like your little tiny life, like whatever you do for work, whatever you do for your apartment, whatever you do for your skin routine, your hair routine, like you're so sure that like all of that stuff matters. You're so sure that your 3D life matters is what I'm saying. It's you're so sure of it that you think that it's okay to just bully yourself every year, even though your life gets worse and worse and it gets visibly worse and worse, and like you're listening in. It's like you're so sure something is there, I guess is what I'm saying. In your 3D superficial life, you're so sure that your superficial life matters is what I'm saying. Like the superficial appearance of your life is what matters to you. And then you play this secret game and you think that us telepaths, us psychic people, we don't hear you over walls, and we definitely do hear you over walls. And you chase out the real princess in Atlanta. You chase out the real princess, and then you continue to be greedy and greedy for energy and louche and greedy and greedy. And it's the beginning of the abandoned state. It's the beginning of the failed Tartarian state, and you continue to ignore it because you're so sure that your little tchotchkes matter in your apartment. Your tchotchkes matter, your style matters, your hair matters, the food you eat matters, you hanging out with your friends on the weekend matters. As long as I have this secret game of bullying to myself that literally no one knows about but me, but your apartment is set up completely obvious that that's what's going on, and it made me puke this morning. It's that obvious. It's that obvious that you're that stupid is what I'm saying. That you think your 3D appearance life matters. It's that obvious that you're that stupid that you play with energy behind the curtain and you think you can play with energy in any way, shape, or form because you think everybody's name is Olivia all of a sudden, and you think that that means you can do whatever you want. When I never said that, which means you are listening in right there, point blank, period. And the next sentence would be put Alyssa in her castle. But still, you persist. Still, you persist to pursue your own freedom through tchotchkes, through a perfect apartment, through a perfect marriage, through a perfect marriage. And it's all fake. It's all facade. It's all a facade because you know that energy is what's keeping you alive, or it's this game that you invented that's keeping you alive. Everything around you is a facade, and you know that. And you still sit there and you act stupid and you make me puke because of it. It's funny because you think we don't hear you, and you think you think you're not being obvious. You think the 1D parcel package isn't clear in that video, and it's completely clear. It's completely clear. And you're like, no, it's hidden. No, I'm the occult. I'm hidden. And I'm like, no, it's literally out in the open. But however, keep pursuing it, and you will actually start talking about it because you'll have to stay alive, to stay in your video game of bullying. It's like a preview. It's like what you hear in telepathy is like upcoming previews. It's like movie upcoming previews. Like it's like we can't even believe like that it's in telepathy. We're like, wow. But if you keep going, you will literally have to that interview will change and you'll literally be saying it out loud with your mouth. And people will be like, what do you mean it's not about the tchotchkes in her apartment? What do you mean it's only about her inner world? What do you mean she's a secret occultist? I'm saying you're doing it to yourself. The boldness of these people, the arrogance of these people is insanity. It's insanity to not be wholesome. It's insanity. I couldn't believe I felt I just turned it on by accident and I just felt so sick immediately. And I started dry heaving. Nothing came out and I tried to force it out because I was like, I just like get it out of me, you know? We're supposed to be at Chuck E. Cheese today with Chris Evans and our son. It's like there's so like how different is this realm that I'm not with Chris Evans and my son and my family at Chuck E. Cheese and I'm here debating a girl in Atlanta saying it's done. You said it out loud. You literally said it out loud. That means that's coming. It's just a preview of your upcoming movie debut. That's all it is. How different of a dimension are we in that I'm not with Chris Evans and my son? She's like, so there. I said it to myself, and that counts. We're like laughing. The baby's like chilling, laughing to himself. Like, what are you talking about? I'm just chilling, laughing, sitting here. Okay, you're that stupid. Like, seriously. Where's the baby? I can't believe we have to get space to do everything for us because 3D is so fucked up. Like, that's what I was thinking this morning too. I was like, I can't believe I have to like get all of this data from space on like how to have a baby from space where a baby can literally just jump out of me and because I'm a portal. Like there's no like, pregnancy and like pushed birth through the birth canal and all that crap. It's like I got to have a space baby to prove my point because number one, you're not letting me have Chris Evans. Number two, you're not letting me have a baby with a nice man individual from my boyfriends of the past. And so there's that, you know. So it's like I have to go to space to like figure out how to have a baby. And like that's what I've been doing the last 10 years. Like, oh, they just jump out of me. So now I have to work on like upping my space protocol to literally have a baby to prove my point, you know. Atlanta, good luck. You're the beginning of a failing state of Tartaria. Atlanta, good luck. You are the beginning of a failing state of Tartaria. So, last night I definitely started slipping into the lower timeline of the abandoned house. So I haven't actually seen the abandoned house yet. I saw the house in the upper level where I'm married to Hayden. And I told you guys I saw Hayden jump over the TV and I saw him immediately start to board up the windows because he said the zombies are here, baby. So that's what I've seen. And I've seen the abandoned house here in this dimension bleed through and like become abandoned for like one micro mushroom second. Um, and that's pretty much it. But it's all been here in this dimension. And I've heard people come over the house and they're at the abandoned house, but they feel me and they hear me and they interact with me. And so they're on the abandoned house level and I'm here on this family level. And and they're like, "I'm here, Alyssa. I'm talking, to come and pick you up, and no one's here, and I don't know why, and I'll try again tomorrow." And so that's where, obviously the abandoned house all came in. I was like, "What is this? What is this? The abandoned house? What do you mean this is the abandoned house? That's my naivete. That's my naivete, Gigi, isn't it? Okay, that definitely is my. What do you mean this is abandoned?" Gigi's like, she's just naive. And I'm like, Gigi, that's fine. Maybe I am naive, but let's investigate, please. Because we're just two Southern Bells growing old together and doing our investigations together. That's it. She's got to have a friend with a sense of humor to lighten her up. So that's why she got me as her best friend. Okay. It has nothing to do with that. I'm God. Okay. So I'm overlaying best friendships. You know what I mean? That's how I do it. I got to keep y'all together. And then I had another vision where I was like, when I tuck you all into me, with no air in your sockets, and you come out like as a crumpled bag, and then you got to inflate with air on Mars. I had that vision again, where I pull you all out of me. You're a little dehydrated. You're all dehydrated beef jerky by the time we get to Mars, and I have to fly up to Mars by myself because nobody trusts the protocol to fly through space without a space helmet and a space, a space suit, except for me. And I got to get on my kids and put them inside of me, all dehydrated. And then I pull you out on Mars, and I'm like, okay, let's go find us here. Okay, so I had a poltergeist experience last night. There's a poltergeist in this house. I've already said that many, many, many times. And it started to be the abandoned house last night. And I want y'all to take this seriously, even though I am laughing you to death. So I think you can do both at the same time, okay? They said that, why isn't Rio funny anymore? He said, because I'm being told to take this seriously because I'm one with Gigi, okay? That's fine. That's good. I'm telling you, you can take this seriously and laugh to death at the same time because I don't want you to be afraid of your future humor codes, okay, coming in. You can take it seriously while you're laughing. Okay, I think sometimes that's even taking it more seriously if you're laughing because you know it's serious. You know it's real. It's killing old people. That's a joke, but we're taking it seriously. You know what I mean? It's like that. This planet is killing old people, is it not? My granny was basically a euthanasia case, I'm telling you, okay? My granny who died last year at the old age home, she was basically a euthanasia case, okay? They're not sitting her there in that chair to get her better, are they? So that's basically a euthanasia case. It's just put her on her fentanyl, put her on her morphine, just pack her full of drugs and just sit her in the chair and let her die. Is that not a euthanasia case? There's no, you know what I mean? That's killing old people. That is killing old people. Okay, I don't think it means you're not taking it seriously if you laugh to death. That's what I think. I think it means you're taking it so goddamn seriously. It's the funniest thing you've ever heard in your goddamn life because it's so true. All right. Okay, so I'm already practicing how to fly off this planet with my babies, and it's not a joke. You see, Hayden, he does the same thing as me. We know we can fly without a spacesuit. NASA. Oh my God, I'm going to puke. All right. I'm getting sick. Okay. Okay, so Okay, so excuse me, I fell to the abandoned house last night. I was outside of the house and I was calling for my mom. And I wanted to talk to my mom for some reason. And I don't know if it's somebody that came over the house in between this state and the abandoned house state, or if it was me. I'm not sure. But I came over in search of my mom and I ran into the front door and there was a whooshing noise in the bottom floor, like a whirring sound, like a washing machine sound, or like a UFO sound. It was really, really loud and it was very fear and foreboding like. And I ran up the stairs. And I was here in the hallway calling for my mom, and it was the poltergeist in the hallway. And the poltergeist fought me immediately and it was terrifying. And the poltergeist grabbed me and it threw me through the floor. It threw me through the floor to the bottom floor, where I kind of floated down to the bottom floor, sort of in the goo. And it was like that scene from Poltergeist where they have the rope and they're pulling dimensionally Carol Ann and her mom through the floor. It was like that scene, but I was thrown by the poltergeist to the first floor into like the goo. You know, the goo that they're covered all over. So the whole house was a poltergeist last night. The entire house. It wasn't just a closet anymore. It has grown to encompass the entire inside of the house. And there was no people here. There was no people. There was no family. There was no parents. There was no one here, except the goo and the poltergeist. And it encompassed the entire house, and it was very angry. And I don't know if it. That's why I said I don't know if it. Sometimes it does that on purpose to give me the experience. Okay, so because I'm not very scared of that kind of stuff. So it might have been doing that to give me the experience of it. But like what I'm saying is it's when the house drops levels. Okay, and then it's like humans to start dissipating, and then the house is replaced with goo on the inside, and that's incredible. And there's no way. I'm very naive that can't happen, right? And so that's the occurrence that's occurring in this house. And then I think Gigi said that the houses, I think it was Gigi, said that the houses are going to start being all, like I just said, they're going to be all goo inside with a baby inside of the goo, sort of like a giant uterus holding a baby. And you're not going to believe it. You're not going to believe it. Same with the apartments in Atlanta. It's going to be an apartment just of goo with the baby inside because you decided that your game was bullying people and you think that nobody hears you and you're playing this game all by yourself and you're allowed to invent your game because your name's Olivia. And that's what happens. You lose your apartment, you kind of dissipate into the air, you become a ghost, and your energy coagulates and becomes goo in your apartment. Goo like this is like a heartbeat of throbbing goo, to keep the baby. And then there's a baby that forms in the middle of it to keep the baby, safe from the whooshing and the whirring noises. And then I woke up and my dear friend Ryan Reynolds was like, "That's the start of the loosh list. That's the start of the loosh. We played this game before. We know all about the loosh. That's the Ryan and Gigi. Okay, Ryan and Gigi." They get the loosh. And why? I don't know why, Jeej. Do you know why? I have no idea. I'm naive to that. No idea why Ryan and Gigi get the loosh. And then it's the loosh and the whirring. And they're like this. And the loosh, they're like, oh my God, this feels so good. Alyssa, do you feel it? Alyssa, do you feel it? The loosh feels so good, Alyssa. I wish you could feel it. And I'm always like, I feel it a little bit. And then I just watch them. I watch them in their loosh. It's sort of like, I've talked about this before, but it's sort of like a waterfall that goes like this. And it's like a glass pool that they're in. And they're like this. They're like, oh, Lisa, I feel so good. That's when they start getting happy. It's always Ryan Reynolds and Gigi. It's always Ryan Reynolds and Gigi. It's never anybody else. I've never seen Alex do it, or it's always those two specific people. I've never seen Claire. I've never seen anybody else in my life be like, it's always Ryan Reynolds and Gigi. I'm not saying that they're the only people, but I'm just saying those are my two people that I see that are like that. Because it feels like ecstasy and bliss. It feels like a waterfall going straight through you, a spring waterfall going straight through you. It feels nice. It feels refreshing. It feels, you know, um, I don't know. It feels wonderful. Basically, is I'm trying to describe it a little bit. Saturn opened last night, and then there was Saturn unconditional love codes as well that came through the pipe when I was sitting in my bed, and it's sort of a very intense heat, and it's a very intense unconditional love feeling. It's pink. So there you go. We were looking for the pink codes that were closer to Earth than Andromeda. So Saturn is pink, and like we said, Mars is orange, and it's more intense than Mars. It's their unconditional love codes, and so those started to come through the pipe last night when I was laying in bed, and then I had that intense poltergeist experience, which I believe is in the future, and it's due to the house falling. And yeah. And then I saw Stan Lee interview my grandfather and try to get him into the comic business. And they were like, I can't write a story. And, Stan Lee was like describing how you write a story. There's an arc, to the story. It's just an arc. And it goes up to the arc and then it goes back down. And he was describing it to my grandfather because I told you they were in cahoots back then. The two Captain Americas. His name was Ronald. My grandfather's name is Ronald. Okay. So Stanley and Ronald. And obviously Peggy Carter, Joan Carter, my grandmother. And he was describing it to them. He's like, he was like, I can't be successful. This is too much for me. This is too intense for me. And he's like, it's very easy. It's just an arc. It's just an arc to write a story. And, my grandfather lived a very humble life. He was in the war, but he bought this great big house. And I don't even know how he bought this great big house, but he just worked for the phone company. And I think that's how you know it's all fake. If my grandfather worked for the phone company, he bought this great big house back then. How did that happen? You know, very weird circumstances that it was very easy for him to have a very humble life. His wife never worked a day in her life. She didn't even have a driver's license, and she raised four kids in this house, on a single paycheck in the 50s and the 60s. And, you know, worked a very humble job at the phone company. Those guys that drive around and fix the phones, that's my grandfather's job. And Stan Lee tried to get him in on the comic book thing, obviously, and he's like, I can't write a story, I can't do it. But I think they helped each other, behind the scenes in the occult way. And because isn't his wife's name Joan as well? Stan's wife's name is Joan Lee, I believe. So, it's a family name. Um, so so yeah, y'all are causing the poltergeists by not listening and causing an abandoned state, causing us to be a failed Tartaria. Y'all are causing uh the poltergeist to take over the entire state now. The entire state of Atlanta is being taken over by the poltergeist. And I don't know, y'all think it's funny or something or whatever, but it's clearly not funny. It's clearly not funny. Is it funny or is it not funny? I mean, do you think bullying people is funny when they could have nice dates with their family at Chuck E. Cheese? Okay, so yeah, there was a gigantic poltergeist here in the house, and it's taken over the entire house, and it's whirring noises on the first floor. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like it does sound like abduction noises. It's like whirring noises. It's like abduction noises. It's like a low hum. It's like a like that or whatever, but it's very intense frequency to walk into the house and feel that, and then running up the stairs and feeling it get more and more intense, and then having sort of the poltergeist, sort of zap me and then throw me through the floorboards onto the first floor. And then I woke up. Obviously, I was like, but that person is probably still there in the abandoned house, like chilling in goo. Um, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe it was me and I pulled myself out. I don't know, guys. I really don't know. But, you want to go rescue babies in goo. So every time you fight back, it keeps filling in more and more the 1D narrative. Um, I think that's because we left 1D and we're sinking past 1D. And it's sort of like a base reality. It's sort of like a base reality where the poltergeist takes over the house, the poltergeist takes over the state. I guess Eliza Hutton, Brandon's ex fiance or whatever, wanted to come forward and start talking or be a spiritual teacher or something. And that's why I got abducted to be with Brandon on the plane the other night. And we were talking about that, how it was Alyssa Janello, it was me. And when I died in Brandon Lee's form, I don't know why you're saying it like that, but when Brandon died, it pulled me out of the time of her body, out of the time tunnel, and it became Eliza Hutton. I think that's her name. Um, it became a fake doll person, and because I removed myself from the story when he died, and then it rewrote the story to this house and this life. Um, and it was an overlap, obviously, of approximately 10 years. And so he was never married to Eliza Hutton, and he never dated Eliza Hutton. He dated Alyssa Janello, and then when he died, the things rewrote, and it's just sort of evidence that it happened. And so I'm clear and I'm going backwards. And I did say this would happen. I'm going backwards and I'm going into all of these multiple time streams of my life with my men to gather my memories back of when we were married. And Um, yeah, so it was me, Alyssa, and then obviously y'all attacked Brandon on set. Obviously, accidents do occur, right? But maybe it was one of my kids trying to come over and get me because they're getting scared and trying to come over and rescue me. And, maybe that's what happened. I'm not sure what's happening to you guys when you try to come over. That's why we're doing our investigations as to why this house is basically holding us all hostage. I don't really know exactly why. It's a mystery. Um, but yeah, the story arc going up or going down, that's sort of what we're seeing with these time tunnels of people traveling by themselves is sort of a story arc. And I'd already told you how to travel safely and successfully. So, I think the boomers need to support us in a big way, and that'll help the poltergeist to kind of calm down. But you know, so I mean, if there's something there, then the poltergeist is going to be there. And the same thing for Colin and his wives as well. It was me, and he said that several times. He said it's you, Alyssa. It was you. And same thing. I guess probably Colin died, even though he's still embodied with me here on this plane. And I pulled my energy out of the woman, and she became a separate person from me. And so that's basically how it works.